Alright guys, so I'm making this video because there's not enough information on the internet to really explain this process, alright? And I feel like it is in my civil duty to do a video to inform other people about, this particular thing that I'm doing. And all right, so I know you don't want to talk, or hear me babble, but all right, so 2004 GMC Yukon Denali. Okay, it's bought it from my brother a few years ago, and he needed a car real bad. Paid like $2,500 for the thing, and did all the basic maintenance on it. Water pump, oil pump, all the gaskets, seals, and whatnot, and all that good stuff. New alternator, water pump, and radiator, and all that. So, long story short, he ended up getting a new car. Didn't want the truck in it. Well, not really didn't want the truck anymore, but the transmission failed him for the 5th time. And me being his mechanic, I have to do all the work to it every time it breaks. So I was like, okay, well, I said, if you're just, he decided he was going to buy another car, so he went and bought another car. And I said, well, it was like, depending on what you want for the Yukon, I said, I'll buy it from you. So I ended up with it and immediately started wrenching on it. Obviously, changed the whole front end on the truck. Done a cat-eye conversion with the SS bumper, and I'll flip that out. Got the 24-inch reps on there. And I mean, this thing's a Denali, so it's fully loaded. Sunroof leather, all the bells and whistles that came in a truck in 2003, 2004. Got the Escalade D pillars, roll pan. I'm not real sure how I feel about the roll pan at this moment, but I'll address that later. I'm not really too concerned about it, considering the bigger project that I have going on at the moment. And that, my friends, is going to bring me to this little doodad here. Yes, that is on a full-size GMC Yukon Denali with a 6.0. And we've got this, which I'm really excited about. I'm probably too excited about this, to be honest with you. It's probably far-fetched, not realistic, not practical, not anything. But there you have it. Brand new t56 6-speed Tremec Magnum. This is a brand new unit. This is not something that I pulled out of the junkyard, out of a Camaro or an F-body or anything like that. This is brand new, straight from American Powertrain. I paid for that, but I'm sick and tired of dealing with these automatic transmission builders who say they stand behind their transmissions, and realistically they don't stand behind them. Honestly, I mean, I'm just I'm over it. So rather than, yeah, I know I should have done a 4080, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. They're good for power and reliable and all that stuff. But after me kind of debating, and, I was going to do a 4080 at one point if I could get one for a decent deal. Never done a swap before from 4060 to a 4080, but I've never done a, 4060 to a 6-speed manual either. So I kind of outweighed the pros and cons of each one. This isn't a truck that's going to be going to the drag strip, running the shit out of it every weekend or anything like. Well, I say that, but it's not going to be a track truck. This is strictly being built as a street truck, and sometimes I'd like to haul my my family around in it, on the weekends and stuff like that. Really, it's just something to keep me occupied. And all that good stuff. So so we're about to pull this level shitty built 4L60 out for the 7th or 8th time. Not this specific one, but I've done a transmission in this truck literally 7 or 8 times, and that's within 3 years of buying the truck, and I'm just over it. Yes, the truck was all-wheel drive when we bought it. The transmission was obviously sketchy when we got it, and we knew it, but we were planning on doing the 2-wheel drive conversion anyway. Went to the junkyard, got the cross member, got the drive shaft and the hub bearings off of a donor truck at a junkyard, and you know, everything was pretty simple. But just getting a reliable 4060 these days is just next to impossible, you know. And I'm sure there's builders out there that can build good transmissions, and I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that I've spent enough money on this 4060 and I'm not going to sink any more money into it. So I'm going to do something funner with it that is going to make the truck more enjoyable to drive, and more or less easier to tune, because I don't have to worry about controlling shift points, programming this, programming that, shift when you want, blah, 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 blah. And then every time I get in the truck, worry about, hey, are you going to shift a second or an all? So I'm going to be in full control of when it shifts, obviously. And back to the cost. This was not cheap. It's not cheap. This is not for the faint-hearted, unless you're dedicated 100%. And I'm going to try to keep you updated as much as I possibly can throughout this entire thing, because I did find research. Yes, people have done this in the single cab trucks, and I've seen, you know, a few 4.3 extended cabs and stuff like that that have been swapped with V8s, but nobody actually goes into details. There's one guy, and I watched every single one of his videos when he was doing his truck, and then at the end he kind of left us hanging for a little while, and got back on there and, you know, hey, sorry guys, I've been gone, but here's the truck, you know, it's done, and all this other stuff. And there was a few things that he left out that I'm going to try to pinpoint on, because I feel like it's a critical thing. He did an NV3500 swap on his truck. I'm doing a T56 Magnum. Essentially, it's going to be around the same difficulty level, I guess you would say. Shifter is going to be in a different location, because the Tremec T56 comes with 3 different shifter patterns where you can do, let's see, I'll just flip. So you can do, this is the front cover. This is how it comes, which is the furthest hole back on the transmission without being through the actual back of the transmission. And they do make the kits for these where you actually do the remote mount shifter where it bolts to the outside of the transmission on the back side. I like this style, and I'm not 100% sure where it's going to land out in the truck yet, because obviously it's still in the box and I haven't put it in, and I've never done this swap. So this is going to be a learning curve for me that I am attempting to help with this. I know you're tired of hearing me talk and all this other stuff, so I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to video everything, but every time that I get to a point, I'm going to try to emphasize on the details. So while I've got that topic on my bed and show you, I had to drill a 2 3/4 inch hole through the firewall for this factory 2004 4.8 clutch master cylinder. Okay, when I bought this, it's a pre-filled unit with the quick release. This is how most of the GM cars are. When you put these on here, they have these gold quick release fittings on them. Okay, and after getting my transmission today and seeing what came with everything that came with the kit, I've decided I'm gonna do away with that, and I actually ordered a fitting off of McLeod, from McLeod Racing. Actually, it's the same place I get my clutch from, and I'll go into that later. But this line right here is not gonna be here. It's held into the master cylinder with a roll pin and an O-ring seal. This is gonna be coming out. Okay, I've got a new line on the way, and I'm basically converting this from that quick connect that you see right there. I'm gonna be converting that to a -4AN fitting, which apparently is the norm now for a lot of different fittings, and my T56 3 fittings. So I've got an adapter and some stuff like that, and I'm gonna get part numbers and everything like that, tell you exactly what you need if you just decide to do like this exact setup, because there's a lot to learn about these different parts and how they work together. And it's not just always going to be a bolt-in thing. And that's what bothers me the most about doing things like this, is like, I ordered a transmission, but did it come with a clutch? Will that flywheel work with this starter? You know, there's different things to consider when you think about all this, and it's hard to emphasize on all the little details. So I'm going to try my best to do that with this build that I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put as much information as I possibly can, and you're gonna see it firsthand from somebody that has physically done it. And I'm gonna try to touch on every single detail. So with that in mind, it is, I think it's like 5:30 or something like that. I just got home from work. I'm in the shop. I'm ready to get this damn 4L60 out of here for the last time. So ready to get this thing out of here for the last time. And then I gotta get my my line's not gonna be here for a few days, so I'm waiting on that. Obviously, I'm not gonna be driving the truck probably for another week or two because I've got to I'm ordering a brand new drive shaft. I'm not cutting mine, lengthening it, or whatever has to be done. Obviously, I'm gonna play around with it, see if it fits and all that good stuff. But my goal is to have brand new drive shaft built, shipped to me, ready to bolt in, you know. So I'm going to walk you through the process of what I did to measure the drive shaft and all that stuff, just so you have an idea of how to do it. And I'll even, you know, if you need to know where I got mine from or whatever, I don't mind spilling the beans on anything. I'm not keeping any secrets. I love, you know, doing these types of builds. I'm not secretive with them. I'm not going to pull up anywhere and say, hey, don't pop my hood. I want you to check my truck out. I want to be proud of my truck. I want to be proud of everything that I've done to my truck. So if you have any questions at all, just ask, because I do not mind answering them. This is going to be a really neat, it's costly. Yes, I've got way more money in this truck than I'll ever get back out of it. But at the same time, it's not about the miles per gallon. It's about the smiles per gallon. And we all know that to be true. We put way more money into anything that we ever get back out of it. So without further ado, I'm going to get on this truck. I'm going to get this transmission out, and I'll see you guys in a bit.